This first section of the stream we're calling Evil Corporations. Bungie had some crazy layoffs. I know y'all seen that on the there's been some drama with the CEO, but before we get into that, the first thing I want to talk about is EA, because I felt like this article kind of flew under the radar. And since this is the Evil Corporation section, we are going to highlight the evil corporations in a whole. EA CEO stated they are not worried about the impact from the video game strike. If you're unaware, SAG, that represents, they have a division. They had a strike last year for the writers and the actors. They went on strike last year. This year, it just happened this week. There's a strike for the video game union, the SAG division. They represent the voice actors, the artists, the developers, anybody who works on a game that's part of that union in the gaming industry. They're going on strike. They're trying to get protections against AI use without permission, trying to get better pay, because like these CEOs, I believe the CEO of EA raked in like 25 million last year. Games like Madden and FIFA are just raking hand over fist and money, and it's not going to the developers. It's not going to marketing. It's not going to anything that benefits the business. It's just going in the big wigs' pockets, and this is why I continue to tell y'all to learn these CEOs' names. Shout out to Jeff Black. In the midst of this strike, EA CEO said, "We don't give a fuck about that strike. We're so deliciously evil. We believe in the bullshit at this corporation. Fuck your strike. Let's talk about it." Last week's video game voice actors voted on to go on strike after a year and a half of back and forth negotiation with gaming entities. The CEO of one of the companies at the bargaining table, EA, has said he's not worried about the strike having a short-term impact on business. Because for those of you unaware, this would affect a lot of games development. It will halt a lot of games. So don't be surprised in the next year if you see several games get pushed back if this doesn't get resolved soon, because they are not going to work. The only thing that this doesn't affect, this current strike, is studios that had like a contract in place that protects them. So there's a 50-50 that GTA 6 might still come out on time. But they even said that the union said that if you don't want to go to work, we're going to support you. So there's some things that predate what's going on in the strike. I don't know. We're going to see how it plays out. Shout out to Mr. CBF with the sub. Appreciate it. EA's Andrew Wilson, CEO, his name is Andrew Wilson, increased 22% from last year. He made 25.6 million in the fiscal year. See, according to Google, that's EA. That's EA alone. Yo, shout out to Ubido with the sub. Appreciate it. Good to see you. What up? What up? What up? What up? As part of EA's most recent earning call, EA's CEO Andrew Wilson was asked about any potential impact from the strike. IGN reports. Due to the specifics of how the strike will operate and how EA's business runs, he's not worried about that strike, and if it will cause any disruption in the near future. We're working very closely. This is not an EA specific situation. This is an industry specific situation, and we're working diligently to negotiate at the table, Wilson said, noting that the voice actors are an important and valued part of EA business. Translation: Madden needs to come out on time this year. My team is in FIFA or FC, whatever it's called. Those are very important parts of our business structure. I believe I read 70% of the income for 2K comes from microtransactions, not the base selling the game. That's why I said if you just stop playing the game, that'll hurt their pockets, not just the VC. Shout out to Kron with the sub. Appreciate it. What up, King C's? What's goody? Seen the vinyl collection is valid. I appreciate it. Welcome. The way it works now in terms of our product specifically is that the strike is limited to games commencing production after September 2023, including live service games. What I mentioned earlier, there are certain games that are going to be protected. Basically, new games, the productions are being halted. But games that started before 2023, you might have to get it done. So we don't expect any near-term disruption to any of the games we have in development or any live service games we're currently running. Translation: we're not worried about Madden and FIFA coming out on time. But also another translation, unless they're lying, that says to me they really don't have anything else coming in the tuck besides what the new, because BioWare is under them. Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age, but the Dragon Age has been in development, so that's going to come out on time. But it sounds to me like they might not have a lot of new games in pre-production in the tuck. They're just going to put out what they got for now. We're not working on anything new, so we're not worried about it. You niggas is gonna get this Madden, baby. On a standard AAA Dragon Age and Mass Effect, I don't think Mass Effect is that far in development. Matter of fact, there was an article that came out like last month I read on stream that bitch ain't coming out to like 28, 29. Because keep in mind, they're working on Dragon Age, and BioWare works on these huge handcrafted RPGs like no other. I don't think they're working. The only thing they've done on Mass Effect is that damn CG trailer they put out, and they have some pre-production shit, probably some storyboard art, some general story beats, like some bullet points, but they ain't working on that game. They're working on Dragon Age right now. Their games are too big to be hopping from game to game to game. That game, bro, they announced it like 5 years ago. I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. So we don't know what's gonna happen with Mass Effect. I'm gonna be 40 when that shit comes out. What was I say? Live service games that have already been released are also exempt, meaning the titles like Fortnite or Destiny can continue new content as usual. Damn, so if you're a developer on a live service game that's been out for a while, you will remain on the hamster wheel. Another example of why live service games are the devil. You're not even protected by the union. If you are developing and working on an ongoing live service game that came out years ago, get your ass in the studio. Another example of what not only do they fuck over you and I with the dailies, weeklies, monthly battle pass and microtransactions, they also fuck over the developer because they're not protected by the union. That being said, we're committed to continuing to bargain in good faith and are hopeful that the parties are quick to resolve our issues at the bargaining table, Wilson said. We're not anticipating any significant short-term impact at EA. You're a little too confident, bro. You're a little too confident. The hamster wheel is hilarious. You never heard that term before? Stuck on the hamster wheel? That's a pretty common term. Video game voice actors voted to authorize the strike last September, but only just initiated action as of July 26th. After the SAG failed to come to an agreement with the video game companies. They've been trying to get this shit straightened out. I just saw the vinyl collection and saw you had some oldies. I always think about being able to get my kids into stuff like that out. You gotta do it, bro. Gotta turn up. I'm glad I read a lot of the comments. A lot of people was like, damn, man, this inspired me. I need to start buying some shit. The worst comment I've seen is, there was no malice behind it, but I'm like, bro, come on. This nigga said, you don't even need to buy a vinyl or a record player. Just buy the MP3 and download it. I know you just heard me say I wanted to buy. I got the vinyl because I wanted it. Yes, I know you can download MP3s. I don't want an MP3. I want higher quality audio. Jesus Christ. Just download the MP3, bro. That collection made me want to listen to the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. That's fucking funny. That's great. Great album, I mean. But yeah, I know there was no malice, so please don't take it as like take it a shot. I just thought it was funny. But it's different when you can actually hold the item. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you can actually hold the item, bro. What happens if your shit get corrupted? What was I about to say? CD's the best. CD's like a happy medium. The only thing is like I like the art really. I like having a big art piece. I like that versus like having a small case. It's really preference. It's preference. Hold up, yeah. Anyways, let's move on to more Evil Corporation news. Shout out to Avid Soul with the sub. Appreciate it. Does it make you feel more connected to them? It does. It does. I think it's for I have like a deep appreciation for the arts. I think that's what it is. So to me, like I wanted the vinyl. I have like, and I feel like it shows when I talk about even like the Ice Spice video that I uploaded today on I'm Just Saying. Because apparently a lot of people still don't know that I have another channel. Granted, I don't promote it, and that's on purpose because I don't want you inconsistent ass niggas on my damn channel. But even like the Ice Spice video, yeah, I got a lot of jokes off, but if you actually listen to it, I do feel like I give very fair criticisms. If you actually pay attention, go check out the video on I'm Just Saying. Lots of jokes, but I also feel like I'm dropping gems in there, and I try to be actually fair. Like I actually sit down and I really like listen to music, and I really watch shows or play games or shit like that. You made me listen to Songs About Jane at 10 a.m. It's a classic. It's a classic. It's a classic. That's why it's a great album. The first two, I love Maroon 5's first two albums. But anyways, getting back to this game and shit. Wait, a credit card scammer? Sorry, I just saw the Vice thumbnail. What? I didn't even see it. More corporate bullshit. The big awful in the thumbnail was funny to me because that shit is awful. Destiny developer Bungie lays off 220 people, roughly 17% of the workforce, and a further 155 are being moved to join Sony and forming a new studio. So they laid off a bunch of people, and then they're splintering and forming a new one. Destiny developer Bungie has laid off another 220 staff. We know. In October last year, the studio laid off 100. Don't forget, last year they laid off a bunch of people too. And reports claimed it was due to the fact that the DLC at the time was kind of weak in sales. There was also reports coming out that Sony regretted buying Bungie because it hasn't been. They feel like they overpaid. I think they paid like $2 billion for them, right? How much did Sony pay for Bungie? Oh, three, almost. Oh, really, you can round that up. Four. They paid $4 billion for Bungie. I remember me, Ethos, and JG on the podcast. We always argued that was who did that evaluation. Bungie, the only game they have is Destiny. Why did you pay so much money for that company? Like Activision makes sense. They have a lot of dormant IPs and they still have popular ones. So it makes sense why Microsoft paid. Even Bethesda, whether you like their games or not, they have a lot of strong IPs. But Bungie has Halo and Destiny. And they don't even have Halo anymore because that went to that shit stain of a fucking company, 343 Industries, that now has made, Halo used to be batting 500, not no more. So really all they got is Destiny. I don't know why they paid so much for them. But anyways. The studio laid off 100 staff from its then 1,200 strong workforce. That means Bungie has laid off around a quarter of its workforce in the past year. The news is shared today in a blog post from Bungie CEO Pete Parsons. Learn the name. Pete Parsons. We've got a... Hold on. What's the giant NBA draft? I'm gonna fix, I think tomorrow, sometime this week, I'm gonna fix my damn Stream Deck because the audio files are fucked up on it. We're gonna fix it. We need to get this shit right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new name that we need to keep on tabs for Fraud Watch. With the first overall pick for Fraud Watch on July 31st, 2024, this stream picks Bungie CEO Pete Parsons. Learn the name. Pete Parsons. Describing the decision as some of the most difficult changes we've ever had to make as a studio. Oh, matter of fact, yeah, since we're talking about it, a company that's been on Fraud Watch for the last 10 years because they've never made a good Halo since they've been given the life. First of all, I don't even understand. You and I, if we went and applied for a job, we would need like 10 years experience to get the job. 343 had no experience, as far as my knowledge goes, in making great AAA games. And for some reason, Steve Ballmer and the rest of Microsoft gave 343 Industries, some fucking fanboys from a Reddit server, the right to produce Halo games. You niggas are not even on Fraud Watch. You are frauds. There hasn't been a good Halo game since Halo Reach. I said it. Anyways. Due to the rising costs of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. The fraud is in. You're no longer on Fraud Watch. You are a fraud. 343. Oh my God. During the rising cost of development and industry shifts, as well as enduring economic conditions, it's become clear that we need to make substantial changes to our cost structure and focus development efforts entirely on Destiny and Marathon, said Parsons. So they still really don't have anything new because Marathon is unproven, which also goes back to one of the issues. One of the biggest issues right now in Game Melon is who told these studios that they need to make these fucking everything doesn't need to be a $500 million game. Okay. One of my favorite games of the last 10 years is It Takes Two. This is one of my favorite. It came out in 2021, 9 out of 10 on Steam. This is a modern classic. One of my favorite games of the last 10 years. This is a small scale game. Depending on your skill level, it'll take probably 8 to 15 hours till you beat. And then I don't tell it's a 2-player co-op platforming game. If you're looking for a good date night game to play with your partner, play It Takes Two. Because what's cool is when you buy the game, it gives you 2 copies. So your friend or your partner, you can play with them. Great game, small scale. We need more It Takes Twos and less Destiny 2s. Jesus. One of the reasons it's just too big of a risk y'all are taking with all these games. These actions will affect every level of the company, including most of our executives and senior leader roles. Today is difficult and a painful day. Yeah, for your employees, not you, fuck nigga. Today is a difficult and painful day, says the fucking multi-millionaire who owns the company and laying people off. How would you know? especially for our departing colleagues, all of which have made important and valuable contributions to Bungie. Our goal is to support them with the utmost care and respect. For everyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exit package, including severance, bonus, and healthcare. At least they're paying them. That's good. I realize all of this is hard news, especially those following the success we have seen with the final shape. But as we navigate the broader economic realities over the last year, and after exhausting all mitigation options, this has become a necessary decision to refocus our studio and our business where more realistic goals and viable finances. This is so bad that so many people have been laid off in the last 2 years because the industry is now cannibalizing itself. Between all these different studios, you have thousands upon thousands of game developers that have been laid off. Now they're all fighting for fucking jobs. What's the name? Yeah, this nigga cannot relate to that shit for his life to depend on it. Parsons added, Bungie is committing to 2 major changes. The first is deeper integration with Sony. Sony said, we're tired of losing money. We're taking over this company. Ladies and gentlemen, matter of fact, remember where you heard it here first. Let me get this, let me get my sound effect going. Oh, man. Remember where you heard it here first. Bungie is officially on fraud watch because of this statement. The first step is we're going to have deeper integration with Sony. Corporate translation. Sony is not happy with the money that we've made since they paid $4 million to acquire us. And if we don't get our act together, don't be surprised if in the next 5 to 10 years, which by the way, don't take this as me wishing this because I never want to see anybody lose their job. I'm just reading between the lines. I'm saying don't be surprised in the next 5 to 10 years if Sony disbands Bungie. Bungie, you are officially on fraud watch. I'm trying to teach y'all how to read this corporate shit. So they're integrating deeper in with Sony. We're integrating 155 of our roles, roughly 12%, into Sony over the next few quarters. Secondly, Bungie will move on to its early development projects, an action game set in the brand new science fantasy universe, to the PlayStation Studios to form a new studio. So let me read y'all some corporate shit. Let me read it back. Let me read it back one more time, what you just read. Let me translate this corporate talk for you. Bungie is not only in danger, but Sony is so pissed that they're not making their money back with Bungie. Sony is low-key so broke, they want another studio. So instead of paying to form another, because keep in mind, all these studios across all these studios have laid off tons of people over the last 2 years. There are tons of free agents out there to create a new game studio, but Sony does not want to pay for them because they don't have the money. They already paid $4 billion for Bungie. So what they're doing is they're now splintering the talent that's in Bungie into another studio. So ladies and gentlemen, remember where you heard it here first. I'm not saying it's true, but don't be surprised if in the next 5 to 10 years, Sony comes out and says, we're financially struggling. This is a very cheap play. The fraud is in. Collectively, between moving staff and layoffs, Bungie is now downsizing considerably, though Parsons explicitly stated that the studio was over 850 team members building Destiny's Marathon. Blah, blah, blah. For the past 5 years, explained Parsons, Bungie has strived to ship games across 3 enduring global franchises, but has since realized this stretch of our talent is too thin, too quickly. This is in addition to our broad economic slowdown, a sharp turn down in in-games industry, and there was a miss in quality. This is very interesting because, by the way, their last DLC is one of the best reviewed games of the year. And last time I checked, it's one of their best-selling DLCs. But I got to call cap on this statement, too, because they said that we realized that our talent is stretched too thin, so we're trying to refocus on what we're doing. So if your talent is stretched too thin and your team is working too hard, why is the solution to splinter the team even more into another team and give it to Sony? Meaning the team at Bungie is even smaller, which means people who are already wearing multiple hats have to put on multiple hats. Read between the lines. The Bungie CEO is a fraud. I messed that up. That's not good. After this new trajectory became clear, we knew we had to change our course and speed. And we did everything we could to avoid today's outcome, even with the exhaustive efforts undertaken across our leadership and product teams to resolve. And we know. Bungie's global community lead Dylan Gaffner described the decision as inexcusable in a post on X. Industry leading talent both being lost yet again, he wrote. Blah blah blah. Checking out the vinyls. I love the Max Miller and SZA. It's nice as fuck. Appreciate it. Heart, what up? Yeah, this is disappointing, man. Because last I checked, the new DLC sold well. They're just, you never want to see people lose their jobs. You never want to see people lose their jobs. This fucking sucks. And you know the worst part is, I seen some drama on the timeline too. I seen multiple tweets like this one right here. Dropping the news that you've laid off 200 people in a second round of layoffs after launching your most successful DLC to date, and then going private immediately after is a coward level on an embarrassing level. So Mr. Pete, remember what I said? Hey, look, you don't got a lot of followers. I told y'all, learn these names. Pete Parsons, Pete Parsons, Pete Parsons. So this man fired a bunch of people, splintered the talent that was left, formed a new studio, and then privated his account. It goes back to what I said in my video. Y'all need to learn the names of these CEOs of these companies and stop yelling at these community managers and go straight to the head. And I think they watched my video because this nigga privated his account. Because a lot of times, and keep in mind, always keep it criticism. We don't condone harassment. Always keep it criticism. But he must have watched my video because I said in my video, the reason you want to learn these CEOs' names and start criticizing them, a lot of times they don't have a lot of followers. I'm not gonna lie, this is on the high side, 28,000, and that's still not that. That's enough where he's gonna see your tweets. A lot of these CEOs, they be having 2, 3, 4, 5,000 followers on Twitter. They're gonna see your tweets. Pete. Shit, I did cancel Game Pass on my Series X and just added it in my PC. So hopefully the people at Bungie that got laid off, they get back on their feet. We got a lot of evil shit going on between the CEO of, I wonder if them niggas be on the phone, Bungie and fucking EA just giggling and shit. Penis Pete. Yeah, Penis Pete over here. What else we got for you? Oh, what's this? Is this Destiny related? This motherfucker Pete Parsons has apparently bought 17 cars since the start of, oh, they on your ass, nigga. They on your ass. Look at this. Dickhead Pete. Why do you need all this? Why do you need all this? It's funny because like we always make a joke. I need another boat instead of, why would I give my employees, my hardworking employees, money to feed their family? I need another boat. He doesn't like boats, but he likes cars. He likes cars. Where did they find, yo, I'm not... This nigga buying fucking spaceships and shit. What the fuck? He buying ugly ass cars too. What is this? That's where the employee pizza party money went, right? I ain't gonna lie, that show be kind of nice though. But a lot of these cars is ugly. The internet is ruthless. This is what you get. We on your head top. Why do you need all this? Especially as the CEO of a game company, you don't even have time to drive this shit. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. This is me just being an asshole. Your joint probably not even bad, bro. You probably riding around in all these fancy ass cars with a 4. Like, this is what do you need all this shit for, bro? A 4 that doesn't even care. Anyways, as someone struggling to find a job in tech, it hurts to watch, not gonna lie. Hey, do more stuff like this. Start exposing these motherfuckers, bro. Who you trying to impress? Oh, more evil news. This whole section is just evil. San Diego Comic-Con was this past weekend. The biggest story coming out of it is Robert Downey Jr. would be playing Dr. Doom. But another big story that came out today is authorities arrested 14 people and rescued 10 victims, including a 16-year-old during an undercover human trafficking sting at San Diego Comic-Con. It makes sense that they would try to kidnap people in an event like this because it's like hiding in plain sight. You can see the victims, like the ton, like it's fucking crazy. And then people wonder why I make the jokes that I make about how like people like, yo, they're the stereotypes about gamers and shit like that. You niggas need to stop being weird. Stop being weird. Stop being fucking weird. This shit is fucking crazy. Leave people the fuck alone. Damn, it ain't even safe to nerd out. Yeah, moving. Like now it's to the point where it's like, yo, moving packs. Don't be going to at least big conventions. Don't be going to big conventions by yourself. Have a friend with you. So some shit pop off, you can jump a nigga. Yo, shout out to Buttle Bear. your homegirls, don't let them go to events by themselves. Go with her. It's getting spooky out here. Can't even go to fucking Comic-Con anymore. And then but at least they found the people and they stopped it before anything bad could happen. That's the good thing to come out of this, I will say. Last but not least, evil nigga news. This nigga's back. Dr. Disrespect. I don't know if y'all saw that this morning. He tweeted out a picture of him playing. Oh, so for those of you who don't know, he got exposed for being a pedo. And that's the reason he got banned off of Twitch. And then he admitted to it. This is not me talking shit. He admitted to it on Twitter. And he decided to go on vacation. Well, he's back from his vacation. Today he tweeted a picture of him playing chess. And on the other side, it's playing checkers. Basically, he's insinuating that he is smarter than all of us. This is a crazy thing to post. You think you're smarter than me because I'm not interested in fucking with minors, nigga? Like, there's no punchline. There's no joke to this. This shit is weird. And this is like the type of people y'all give not y'all necessarily in the chat. I'm just speaking in general. People give platforms. This shit is weird. You would have been better off if you were trying to save any little piece of your career that you could. You should have just came back quietly. And I have a sneaky suspicion that, remember where you heard it here first. Remember, I've talked about this on stream. What do content creators do when the views start getting low? They become alt-right grifters. They become Rumble content creators. They do the go woke, go broke shit. They do that type of stuff. And I have a suspicion he's about to do it. He's about to grift. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I scrolled down into the comments section. Oh, here we go. And this person said, "Is this you playing with a minor?" And then he replies, "Good one, she/her. The internet will never fix your real threat, depression." I think he's about to start grifting. He's already calling people woke in the comments. This is sad, man. I just love when I'm right, man. I love when I'm right. Anyone notice the point of view is barely above the table? Hold on. Yeah, who you playing with, dog? Who are you playing with? He think he Homelanders. the fucking Super Saiyan 4. So they on your ass, boy. They on your ass. Man, oh my goodness. Wait, is there community notes on this? Why is there community notes posted right here? Dr. Disrespect is playing chess, a game meant for an older audience, and is suggesting his following is playing checkers, a game meant for kids. He is implying that he himself, Dr. Disrespect, enjoys playing with kids. That's not a real community note, is it though? I don't see it. It's a lot of pedo. Yeah, the shit with that cameraman from AMP. I do think it's getting to the point where there needs to be some type of study done. Sorry. There needs to be some style. It's not real, but it's funny. That's fucking funny. There needs to be some type of study done because I feel like it started off as a joke. You seen the Rockin' the U.S. Army article? Nah, link it. It started off as a joke, like, why do so many content creators come out later when they get successful as like pedos or whatever, PDF files? But now it's like, it's no longer a joke. It's happened one too many times where I'm like, now I feel like there needs to be a study done. Like, what's the correlation? Why are y'all so sick in the fucking head? And also it validates the jokes that I be making. Because what did I say? Top 5 communities with the most fucking PDF files where you're not, and I'm not, if you play these games, I'm not saying you will end up a PDF file because I like some of these games. I'm just saying you're more likely to see them there. Top 5 games: Pokemon, Smash Bros, Minecraft, Roblox, and the 5th one is interchangeable. I personally would put Sonic, but if you want to pick a different one, go for it. There are certain games, and you know why. Kids love Minecraft. Kids love Roblox. They love Pokemon. Weird niggas love Sonic. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. As I'm saying, so if you got, like, jokes aside, if you have a kid or like a niece or a nephew that loves Sonic, they love Roblox, keep an eye on them. My little sister, I'm 20 years older than my little sister. She's 13. My parents was wilding. I told my mom, she played Roblox all the time. I told my mom, you better watch her. You better. I straight up told her, I said, who the fuck is she talking to on that computer? I had to put my mom and dad on the game. I was like, yeah, watch that shit. We not doing that. We not doing it. It was like, thank you, TBH. Facts, TBH. My mom, they don't call it. You said real unk status? Real unk status. He said, nah, your parents are wild. Yeah, I remember when she was born. I was like 20, 21. I just remember looking at my parents like, all right, bro. Like, Ace, one of the good ones though. Yeah. That's why I said it doesn't mean you are. I'm just saying you're more inclined to find it. But yeah, Ace is a good Sonic fan. Like, I like some Sonic games. Like, I like Smash Bros, Super Smash Bros Melee. I say it all the time. That's top 10, one of my favorite games. Never had any of that shit in mind for me. What'd you link? Oh, is this the army shit too? Oh, this is the same shit. You ain't wrong, TBH. I had to fill my dad in the other day about how fast the internet is moving, and they coming up with traps all the time. Fuck no, I'm not no Sonic 06 fan. You're a psycho if you are. Yo, shout out to Josh with the sub. The Army says they made an $11 million promotional deal with The Rock and the UFL, which didn't lead to a single new recruit. 38 recruits actually ended up delisting instead. That's fucking funny. Let me tell you why. I don't know if y'all know, but recruitment numbers across the board, all four branches of the Army. All four branches of the military, which is Army, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy. Oh, I take that back. There's 5 now in the Space Force. The Space Force is real. So all 5 branches, although I don't even know how recruiting works in the Space Force. So we'll say 4. All the numbers are down. Like, patriotism is at an all-time low. Well, actually, it has nothing to do with patriotism. I read up on it. It has more to do with, like, niggas is fat as hell. People do want to join the military, but the problem is, for those unaware, if you want to join the military, if you're younger in the audience, you have to be a certain weight. You have to be like halfway healthy. They don't want morbidly obese people coming to boot camp. You have to be halfway healthy so they can work you into shape, basically. So like now they have like fat camps before, if you want to go into the military and you're obese, they have fat camps to get you into shape before you go to boot camp. That's how bad it is. It's not, jokes aside, it's not actually patriotism. And it should, by the way, I've never been suicidal. It's the US government poisoning us. What was I about to say? They always have fat camps. Yeah, but they're more prevalent is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, this is fucking funny. Why did they pay him so much money to recruit? Like, do the kids care about, I feel like The Rock is more of like a millennial thing, unless you, because he only makes like a guest appearances in the WWE every once in a while, right? Like, unless you watch the Fast and the Furious, are you really like a Rock fan like that? So I don't feel like he was the right person to use to recruit. This nigga didn't get one sale. That's fucking funny, man. The Army needs to combat the FDA and the Food Corps. We all do. We all do. There's a lot of stuff that these corporations get away with putting in our food that is not legal in every other country. Every other country. That's fucking funny. They said 38 recruits actually delisted. They said, The Rock? Nah, we don't want to hear that shit. He was in Mona too. Huh? The Rock is hated nowadays. Oh yeah, because like his attitude